Have you ever felt that people come to you only when they need something? Have you ever canceled your own plans, your rest, your sleep, or your peace just to help someone who forgets you the moment they're done? And here's the part that really stings. You didn't even mind. You said yes, you showed up, you gave everything, and they moved on like it was nothing. If that sounds familiar, this video is going to change something in you, because there's a reason you keep saying yes even when it costs you. And there's a reason the most respected people in every room, at work, in their friend group, in their family, are never the ones always available. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear took a Stoic emperor 2,000 years to document, and it applies directly to your life right now. You know what's interesting about people pleasers? They're usually the smartest, most capable people in the room. They see what others need, they anticipate it, they solve it before anyone asks. And that's exactly why they get used. Not because they're weak, because they're reliable. And reliability without limits, that's not a virtue, that's a vulnerability. Think about your week for a second. How many times did you stop what you were doing to help someone else? How many times did you say, "Sure, no problem," when inside you were exhausted? How many texts did you reply to that you didn't have the energy for? And here's the real question. When did anyone last ask how you're doing? I spent 2 years being the person everyone leaned on. I thought that meant I mattered. I was wrong. Here's what nobody is teaching you in 2025. Your availability is a currency, and right now, you're handing it out for free to people who aren't even keeping receipts. The more available you are, the less people value your presence. That's not cynicism, that's human psychology, and Marcus Aurelius wrote about it in the 2nd century. Here's what actually works. When you become selectively available, you don't lose relationships, you upgrade them. But to understand why that works, you need to see what happened to Jake. Jake was 27. He lived in a one-bedroom apartment in Austin. Good job in tech, decent salary, great group of friends, or so he thought. Jake was the guy, the one you called when you needed help moving, the one who stayed late to cover your shift, the one who replied at midnight, the one who always had time. His coworkers knew it, his friends knew it, his neighbors knew it. And for a while, Jake told himself that's what made him valuable, that being needed meant being loved. He tried to be everything for everyone, like I did. It doesn't work the way you think. One Thursday night, Jake's manager sent him a Slack message at 9 p.m. "Hey man, can you jump on a quick call? Need help with the deck." Jake had a dentist appointment the next morning, hadn't eaten since noon, and had been on calls since 8 a.m. He typed back, "Sure, jumping on now." 40 minutes later, the deck was done. His manager said, "You're the best," and went offline. Jake stared at his screen. He felt nothing. Not good, not proud, nothing. That same week, his friend Tyler texted asking him to drive 40 minutes across Austin to help him move furniture. Jake went. Nobody offered to help Jake with anything that week. Not once. And then one Sunday, sitting in his car in a Starbucks parking lot, too tired to go in, Jake realized something. He couldn't name one person who would show up for him the way he showed up for everyone else. Not one. He sat there for 15 minutes, just sat there. And that silence, that's when everything started to shift. Here's what Jake did next, and why it changed everything in 7 days. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But here's how that applies to you right now. In your group chat, in your office, in your apartment building. Your time is an outside event to everyone else. They will fill it. They will use it. They will expect it. Until you make a decision about what you control. This sounds simple. It took me way longer than it should have to actually live it. The Stoics had a principle called amor fati, love of one's own path. But before you can love your path, you have to actually be on it, not running someone else's errands while your own life waits. Here's the framework Jake used. It has 3 questions. When someone asks for your time, ask yourself, 1. Does this align with something I'm working on right now? 2. Will saying yes cost me peace, energy, or focus I need today? 3. If I say no, will this relationship survive? I ran these questions for 30 days. The honest answer to question 3, almost every time, was yes. Real relationships survive a no. The ones that don't, those weren't relationships. Those were transactions. Boundaries don't push people away. They reveal who actually wants to be around you, not just around your usefulness. Jake started with one no, just one. His coworker asked him to cover a Saturday shift. Jake had planned to spend that morning finally cleaning his apartment, going to the gym, existing as a person. He texted back, "I can't this weekend. Hope you find someone." His coworker found someone. The world kept moving. And Jake went to the gym for the first time in 6 weeks. But here's what happened on day 4 of Jake's experiment. This is the part nobody talks about. Day 4. Jake said no to 3 things that week: a last-minute favor from a neighbor, a quick call from a coworker, a group chat asking him to plan the birthday dinner again, and something unexpected happened. Nobody collapsed. Nobody hated him. Nobody texted, "I can't believe you." Tyler, the same guy who'd had Jake drive 40 minutes to move furniture, texted him on day 5. Not to ask for anything, just, "Hey man, you good? Haven't heard from you." For the first time in years, someone reached out to check, not to collect. By day 7, Jake's apartment was clean. He'd cooked actual meals, he'd slept 8 hours 2 nights in a row, he'd started a side project he'd been meaning to start for 18 months. And he noticed something at work. His manager, who used to slack him constantly, started solving problems himself. Jake's ideas in meetings were suddenly taken more seriously, not because Jake had changed his output, but because he'd changed how available he was. Here's what I want to know from you. Think about your week right now. Who in your life are you giving the most to, and what are they giving back? Drop it in the comments. Be honest. Now here's what I need you to hear. If you don't change this, the cycle doesn't slow down, it accelerates. People who never say no get promoted to a role with no title and no pay. The person everyone depends on. You become infrastructure, and infrastructure doesn't get thanked, it just gets expected. At work, you'll be the reliable one who never gets the raise because, of course, you'll handle it. In your friend group, you'll be the planner, the driver, the listener, and you'll slowly start dreading your phone. I almost stayed in that cycle. The only thing that stopped me was realizing nobody was going to save my time for me. Here's the cost. Every yes you give that you didn't want to give, that's energy you pulled from your own goals, your own health, your own future. You don't get it back. The people who never figure this out, by 35, they're burned out, quietly resentful, and surrounded by people who genuinely believe everything is fine. Don't be that person. Jake didn't become cold. He didn't become unavailable. He became intentional. He still helped people, but now when he helped, he meant it, and people felt the difference. A yes from Jake meant something, because it wasn't automatic. Marcus Aurelius built an empire. He was also the most in-demand man in Rome, but he guarded his mind and his time like they were his most precious resources, because they were. And yours are too. Start with one no this week, just one. Pick the easiest one, the favor you're already dreading, the shift you don't want to cover, the plans you agreed to out of guilt. Say no to that, and watch what actually happens. If you give a lot to people but feel invisible doing it, this channel is for you. This channel exists for one reason: to turn ancient wisdom into tools you can actually use in your life today. Every video, one idea, real change. If that's what you need, subscribe. More coming this week. And if this hit you, watch our next video, because we're going to talk about something that runs even deeper than boundaries. Why you're not lazy, you're just running on the wrong kind of fuel. That one might change how you see your entire week.